Supreme Court of Nigeria has affirmed Senator Monday Okpebholo as the duly elected governor of Edo State, bringing to an end all legal contestation arising for the 2024 governorship election. But what a get reaction, please stay tuned.
Well, first and foremost is to thank the Supreme Court, and through the Supreme Court to the Court of Appeal and the Edo State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal. As you will recall, all the three levels of courts unanimously affirmed the election of Governor Monday Okpebholo as the validly elected governor of Edo State. And these decisions are significant in so many respects, one of which is that it has affirmed the confidence that the people of Edo State had on September 21st, 2024 in electing Governor Monday Okpebholo. Of course, in every electoral contest, there are bound to be disagreement, and that is why Asue Ighodalo and his party decided to go to court to challenge the victory of Governor Monday Okpebholo. So, this judgment is significant. It has now reaffirmed the election of Governor Monday Okpebholo by the Edo people. And the implications are numerous. For Edo people, their expectations remains high. And of course, in the last 7 months that Governor Okpebholo has been on the saddle, he has demonstrated beyond doubt that he has the capacity, to deliver on his electoral promises through the provision of infrastructures, through human capital development, improvement in small and medium scale businesses. In the education sector, as we can see, there's massive infrastructure development going on. And there are also reforms going on in the security sector. I mean, as you can see, the fight against insecurity, particularly kidnapping and courtesy, has reached its crescendo with the recent actions of government in not only reenacting existing laws and making punishment stiffer, by taking certain decisive steps in order to stem the tide of these criminal activities. And of course, Edo people are up for a very good deal in the next 4 years or 3 years and some months in the first instance. And God willing, he will be able to do another 4 years to be able to concretize these development strides that have started. So, legally speaking, we have a validly elected governor. We were not in doubt anyway from the very beginning that Governor Okpebholo had the mandate of Edo people, and that the Independent Electoral Commission did what they ought to do in accordance with the Electoral Act. Many of the petitioners were very loud as to the fact that, the election was not conducted in compliance with the Electoral Act, that there was overvoting, that there were no recording of serial numbers. But the court held that the evidence they adduced were not sufficient to prove their allegations. And if your evidence are not sufficient to prove the allegation, because the burden is on you that is alleged to prove. Section 135 of the Evidence Act is very clear on that. So, not having been able to prove their case against the election of Governor Monday Okpebholo, the Supreme Court, and indeed other levels of court, have affirmed and dismissed the appeal. And the implication again is that for the first time, which is very significant, for the first time, an election petition went from the Election Petition Tribunal up to the Supreme Court without any of the levels of court ruling otherwise, and without any of the judge or justices, held that the case and appeal dissenting. At the tribunal level, all 3 judges that presided over the election petition at the tribunal level concur with the lead judgment. At the Court of Appeal level, all the 5 justices of the Court of Appeal that heard the appeal concurred with the lead judgment. And indeed, at the Supreme Court level, all the 5 justices. So, this election is significant in the history of our electoral jurisprudence, and is a case that lawyers and practitioners, even political gladiators, need to study very well for future reference.
So what is our expectation?
Good governance, delivery of people-oriented services, human capital development, more infrastructures for Edo State, improving healthcare and education services, and indeed a better life for Edo people in the next 4 to 8 years under Governor Monday Okpebholo.